Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Okay, in this video, I'm going to solve more questions on the ax plus b raised to power 2 factors on partial fractions. And please, like I always say, make sure you've reviewed the 5 rules of partial fraction, how to solve it. You have to first check if the degree of the numerator is less than that of the denominator. If not, you have to use long division. Then after that, you have to express the denominator as prime factors. After that, you then have to rewrite the partial fractions as with the prime factors. So that means if, for instance, an ax plus b, I gave you how it should look like, or ax plus b squared. Then when you're done with that, you now multiply all the parts of the equations, the original equation and the partial fractions by the denominator. Then you can either use the fifth one is to either use the substitution method or the coefficients of 10 method or the combination of both. All right. So I've solved an example in the previous video, but I want to solve one more. So that will now put an end to this one. Then the next video will be an ax plus b raised to power 3 factors. Okay. So let's start. So let's check. What is the degree of the numerator here? It's 2. The degree of the denominator, this is going to be x2 times x1. So that's going to give you 3. So that means this is good to go. All right. So let's go straight. And we'll go straight into partial fraction for this. So the first thing, like I said, you can see in this one, we have both a linear. Okay. You can see we have a linear, that is the ax plus b. And we also have an ax plus b raised to power 2 factor here. So because of this, therefore, the partial fraction is going to be a combination of both of them. So it's going to be a combination of both the linear and the ax plus b2. So for the ax plus b, it's going to be a over x minus 1. Now for this one, which is the ax plus b2, like what we solved in the last example, is going to be b divided by 2x plus 3 plus c divided by 2x plus 3 raised to power what? 2. Okay, so that is the partial fraction we have for that. Now, remember the next step, you have to multiply both sides by the denominator. So we're going to multiply this now. So let me use a color here, black. So we have 14x squared plus 31x plus 5 divided by x minus 1 and 2x plus 3 squared. Then I'll multiply it by the same thing, x minus 1, 2x plus 3 all squared, and that will be equal to the next part is going to be a over x minus 1, and I'm going to multiply it the same thing. I'm going to multiply by the denominator. It will be x minus 1, 2x plus 3 all squared. So usually in an exam or in a test, you don't need to do this step. You can just jump straight and know what it will give you. But because I'm explaining it to a larger audience, so I don't know where everybody, the stage anybody is at. So I'm going to show all steps so that it will be easy for you to follow. Okay. This is going to be b divided by 2x plus 3 multiplied by x minus 1, 2x plus 3 all squared plus c divided by 2x plus 3 all squared multiplied by the denominator, which is x minus 1, 2x plus 3 all squared. Right. Now we're done with that. The next thing we need to divide. So this will cancel that. And that will give me 14x squared plus 31x plus 5. Okay. This will cancel this. And that will give me a into bracket 2x plus 3 squared plus this. We'll just cancel one of this. Okay. And that will leave me with b into bracket x minus 1 2x plus 3. Then this will cancel that plus c into bracket x minus 1. Okay, now this is the expression we have. And like I told you, you can use several methods here. You can use several methods. You can use the coefficients, sorry, the substitution method and the coefficient method, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to make more emphasis on the coefficient method here, because the last video I only used substitution almost throughout, okay? So let's go. So like I said, it's better to start with substitution. Then when you get stuck or when it becomes a little bit more complicated for you, then you just switch to the coefficient of x method, all right? So let's go. So we have the substitution method. So we're going to look for a number that we're going to substitute that all the other ones will become 0. So if I put x to be equal to 1, this is going to be 0, b is going to be 0, c is going to be 0. So I'm going to be left with a and this. So I can now say let x to be equal to 1. And that will give me 14, 1 squared plus 31, 1 plus 5. And that will give you a 2 into bracket 1 plus 3 close bracket squared plus b into bracket 1 minus 1, 2, 1 plus 3 plus c 1 minus 1. This will give me 0. Everything will be 0. Everything here is going to be what? 0. Now with that, now I can now simplify this. If you put this in your calculator, it should give you 50. Okay. It's equal to, put this in your calculator. This is 2 times 1 will give you 2. 2 plus 3 will give you 5. 5 squared will give you 5a. So that means divide both sides to get 5a. Then divide both sides by 5. Okay. So therefore, the a will be equal to what? Sorry, this is 2. 2 times 3 is 5. 5 times 5 squared is 25. I beg your pardon. So it's 25. Not 5. So you have to square it. There's a square here. So it's going to be 25a. Divide both sides by 25. Okay. Yep. And therefore, a is going to be equal to what? 2. Okay. Another thing again you can use, you can make x minus 3 over 2. You use minus 3 over 2. This will become 0, and this will also become 0. But I don't want to use the substitution method again. I'm going to use the coefficient method here, so I can put a little bit more emphasis on it in this video. Okay, so I'm going to write this expression again. So in the next slide. So the expression was 14x squared plus 31x plus 5 was equal to, was it a x? Sorry, let me check it again. Yes. So it was equal to a 2x plus 3 all squared plus b into bracket x minus 1, 2x plus 3, and plus c, that was x minus 1. Okay, so as usual, in order to use the coefficient method, I need to expand all the brackets, right? So this is going to be, if you expand the bracket, it's going to be 14x squared plus 31x plus 5 equal to a. When you open the bracket for this, so remember you're having 2x plus 3, okay? And you have another 2x plus 3. 2x times 2x will give you 4x squared, okay? Then 2x times 3 is going to give you 6x. 3 times 2x is going to give you 6x. And 3 times 3 is going to give you 9. And if you don't know how to expand bracket, I've talked about this with binomial expansion of brackets. So you can go back and have a look at it, okay? So that means this is going to give me 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Is that okay? Now that is that for that. So I can now open the bracket for the second one. So now for the second one, I can open it to also expand the bracket. So we have b to be equal to 2x minus 1. Oh, sorry, let me just leave the b out so I can just not confuse anyone. So it will be x minus 1, 2x plus 3. All right, so we're expanding this now. So you open the bracket, it's going to give you 2x squared. You open the bracket again, it's going to give you x times 3, it's going to give you 3x. Then minus 1 times 2x will give you minus 2x. Minus 1 times 3 is going to give you minus 3. It's going to give you 2x squared. 3x minus 2x is going to give you x minus 3. So it's going to give you plus b into bracket 2x squared plus x minus 3 and plus c x minus 1. Good. Now we're going to start with the coefficients method now. All right. So the first thing is that we have x squared. So we're going to start with the coefficients of x squared. Okay. So coefficient of x squared. Now on this side, x squared, the coefficient here is what? 14 is equal to this on this side. Now the coefficient of x squared is 4. 4 times a will give you 4a. Can you see? Coefficient of x squared here is going to be 2. 2 times this will give you 2b. So the first equation we have here is 14 is equal to 4a plus 2b. The next one, we're going to look for the coefficient of x now. So we're going to coefficient of x. Okay, so that is it. You have to look for the coefficient of each of the variables, all right? So this one, the coefficient of x here is 31. Coefficient of x here is 12. 12 times a will give you 12a. Coefficient of x here is 1. 1 times b will give you what? B. Are you seeing it? Now, but coefficient of x here is also 1. 1 times c will give you c. So this is the second equation. Then the last one is what we call the constant. So the coefficient of constant. So the constant here is 5. It's equal to, the constant here is 9. So times a will give you 9a. The constant here is minus 3. So minus 3b. And the constant here is what? Minus 1. And that'll give you minus c. And that'll be equation what? 3. Now from each of this, you can now keep solving. But remember, with the substitution method, I already know what the value of my a was already. I know my a was equal to 2, okay? So that means from there, I can get my b from equation 1. Does that make sense? So that means I can substitute. So I'm going to substitute. This is the equations, just to keep it out of the way. So I'm going to substitute x to be equal to 1. So I'm going to say the a that was equal to 1 earlier. Sorry, a was not equal to 1. A was equal to 2. Yes. So I'm going to substitute a equal to 2 into equation 1. Okay. Or let me write it fully so someone else can understand. I meant equation 1. So that means what is going to happen is going to be, I'm going to have 14 is equal to 4 into bracket 2 plus 2b. Okay. Then I take, this is 14, this give me 8. So it's going to be 14 minus 4 into bracket 2 is equal to 2b. Then I divide both sides by what? 2. So there, if you press your calculator for this, the b should be equal to what? 3. Can you see? So now I know what my a is. I know my a is 2. Okay. I know my b now is 3. Then to look for c, I can choose any of the equation, either using equation 2 or equation 3. And what I'm going to do to make it easy, I'm going to use equation 2 then. So I'm going to put a to be equal to 2 and b to be equal to 3 in equation 2. Okay. Can you see? So equation 2, we have 31 is equal to The A is what? 12. So it's going to be A like this. Sorry. The A is 2. So it's going to be 2 plus, what is the B? The B is 3 plus C. All right. So therefore, my C now, I'll take everything to the other side. It's going to be 31 minus, take this to the other side. 12, 2. Take this to the other side, minus 3. And if you do that correctly, your answer will be the C. That will be 31 minus 24 minus 3. And that will give you what? 4. So my C is equal to 4. So I've gotten everything I need. I found my A, I found my B, and I found my C. So therefore, I can come back and replace it in this equation here, okay? In the original equation I got. So that means I put my A and my B and my C. So I will just go back. So it's A over X minus 1, B 2X plus 3, and C, okay? So it's going to be, my A now is going to be, if you put it correctly, so the A is 2. It's going to be 2 over X minus 1 plus my B is 3 over, and what was my B? 2X plus 3. And my C is 4 all over 2X plus 3 squared. 2X plus 3 all squared. And that is the answer for the what? Partial fraction. So you can see in this method here, I combined both the substitution and the coefficient of terms method, all right? All right, so that'll be that for that, and I will stop here. And I'm going to move to the next video. It's going to be an ax plus b raised to power 3 factor. So please, some more questions. If you don't understand anything, feel free, drop me an email, and I'll get back to you, all right? Okay, thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next video.